Hey, it's Darren Lee. Leonard Williams.
This is Justin Burris.
Jason McDougal here.
Doug Middleton. Darren Roberts.
So you're watching NYJFTV.
You're watching NYJFTV. You're watching NYJFTV.
You're watching NYJFTV.
Go Jets.
Go Jets.
Got me falling right.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of NYJFTV. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Serkin, joined by a very angry Fireman Ed and former Jets wideout Rob Carpenter. We're going to be covering everything from that Jets 45-20 loss in Oakland. Before we do that, really quickly, wherever you guys are watching, please head over to Shindig. All right, go download the Shindig app. One click, you could be a part of the show. All right, if you're watching on a computer, even better, just use your webcam. You can come on at the end if you have a question or if you just want to vent and get off some frustration. Come join the show. All right. Also, fanduel.com. Go check that out. Use /NYJetsFans. Our week 3 contest is going to be up in a couple of days. Right now, our week 2 contest is still going active with Monday Night Football. Thankfully, Rob and Ed were lucky enough to keep me some company in the basement this week as we were all pretty terrible. Hopefully, we'll do a little better in week 3. And lastly, head over to SeatGeek.com. Use promo code NYJF. Save $20 off your next ticket purchase. All right. So with that being said, let's get into Jets in Oakland. Obviously, I think that we all kind of knew what to expect in this game. Unfortunately, when it was 14-10, I think we all got excited. We were like, all right, this team's showing some heart. They're showing some fight. And then that friggin' punt, another special teams blunder, and we just couldn't seem to rebound after that. The defense was just getting shellacked. So, Ed, I'll start it off with you, man. What were your thoughts on this one?
Well, I'll be honest with you. You know what? I actually started to get a little excited because more than anything, I seen an offensive line look like they were coming together. My man Brian Winters went out with something with his abdomen. I hope it's not too serious. And Dakota Dozier, who we've been waiting for, wondering why he was on the team. I mean, I hear a lot of whispers through the years. The guy played very well. I mean, the offensive line looked really good going into – at that point, they were starting to roll. They were running the ball. They were throwing the ball. They were doing everything that, you started getting excited. And then this kid muffs the punt right before the half. We're going to get the ball. I'm thinking we may take the lead before the half, 2-minute drill, right? And the way they were playing. And I don't know what happened. All I know is one thing. In the locker room, I don't know, Mo Wilkerson, did you put the ski mask back on? What are you doing? I mean, I don't understand. Leonard Williams is getting double teamed. If he's not getting double, I mean, there's nobody playing. What is going on? We're looking at holes there. I don't think we have linebackers. Like, I'm thinking, where's the linebackers? Could just tell me one thing? Could we get this kid from Wagner, Julian Stafford? Could he play? Can he play a little bit? Can he effing play a little bit? He's a big boy. He can hit. He can make some plays. All right. You got Darren Lee playing. He's getting murdered. Did you see the one highlight where he went? He was back at the safety position. He got hit so hard. He went back to the safety. He's lined up where goddamn Adams was. That's where he got blocked. I mean, I can't stand this shit. And listen to me. Any of you fans that you're talking about tanking and everything else. Oh, we got to lose. We got to lose. What kind of heart do you have? Where's your heart? When you're watching that game and you see this team starting to play and the offensive line starting to make a move and they starting to gel a little bit, you're going to tell me you're not rooting for your team? You idiots! You're an idiot! If you don't root for your team, you're an idiot!
Well said, Ed. Well said.
Rob, how are you, man?
Hey, I don't know how to follow that up, but you know, like I just said, man, right before the half, the muff punt, I think, you know, took a lot of steam out of the team. You know, when you're playing on the road and you're a team like the Jets have right now, you can't make those kind of mistakes. Those kind of mistakes actually kill you, and you know it showed. Scored 14-10. Jets are actually in the game, and you know, God forbid that a big mistake like that were to happen, and it did, and it just you know, it just blew the steam out of the balloon right there. You know, I was in that position at one point in time as a young guy being a punt returner, so I kind of know, you know, how it feels. Muffing a punt in a position where you actually are actually in the game, and then, you know, something happens. So I kind of feel bad for the kid, but, you know, you just can't have those mistakes at that point in the game. And like Ed said, you know, the whole line actually seemed like they were coming together. You know, Shell on Khalil Mack all game, and, you know, he didn't give up anything. The whole line was opening up holes for the running game. You know, McCown took a few sacks. Granted, he did. And I kind of think that was expected coming into the game. But, you know, as far as the running game goes, you know, you actually had Forte making big gains. McGuire had a couple of good runs. Bilal had his normal things going on. So, and McCown was actually spreading the ball around. But we do see that Curse is actually his favorite target. And like we all said, when the trade was made, he's more than a serviceable guy. He's not just a threat who wants to come in, because he could do some things. And he showed that in Seattle. And, you know, he just didn't get those opportunities in Seattle because of Doug Baldwin and the type of offense that they have. So Doug Baldwin is the true number one there. And, you know, Russell Wilson is going to spread the ball around a little bit. But, you know, first looks, everything is always going to go to Doug Baldwin. And now it's Jimmy Graham. But, you know, Curse is a guy that actually can make plays, and he's done it. So, you know, that involved in the offense, and, you know, see what goes on. Austin Sferrin-Jacobs is coming back this week, so hopefully the tight ends get involved a little more with Ty and you know, Austin. So, you know, we'll see what goes on. But the defense, I would have never thought that the defense had actually been getting, you know, run on like they have first 2 weeks. You know, it's just, I see guys where the linebackers are filling the total wrong gaps, man. I see what the D-line is doing, and the guys are just running in total opposite direction of where the play's going. So you guys are correct. You know, Darren Lee is actually getting blocked out of the screen. So, you know, that's definitely not a good look. So if that's happening, you know, we got to get guys in there that are actually going to, you know, fill gaps and stunt throwing guards, actually pulling around into holes, and, you know, get linebackers that are going to fill the gaps and you know, just create chaos in there. So, you know, if some of the young guys actually going to can do that, they need to be playing.
All right, well, there's a whole lot more that we're going to get into, both offensively and defensively. But before we do that, we have somebody that would like to join us. This is our good friend, Spotty Blackman. All right, so let's welcome Kevin on the stage. Yeah.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him. All right, well, that allows me to go right into the offense. You know, hopefully we'll be able to get Kevin right back on. You know, sticking with the offense for a sec, obviously there were some positives. Like you guys said, the offensive line, huge game from them. McCown had all day sitting back there, which, you know, I was kind of disappointed that at one point in the game he was 15 of 20 for only 121 yards. You know, I know he was efficient and he spread the ball around, but, you know, we're still lacking that big playability. And you mentioned, you know, Curse is his number one option, but we're already seeing Robbie starting to get a little pissed off and, you know, bark at him a couple times when he's not getting the ball. So hopefully that doesn't, you know, trickle into anything. But the thing that just continues to drive me nuts on offense, Matt Forte. He's still getting more carries than Bilal Powell. I'm glad they finally got McGuire into the mix, but why the hell is Matt Forte still our starting running back at this point? Is there not a noticeable difference between both of these young running backs and what Forte is doing?
I actually think it's the same thing with McCown. Forte and McCown are probably, to me, they're in the same boat. And by that, I mean, McCown is actually a vet that they can trust. He's going to make the right decisions, they think, or they hope. Forte is that same type of guy. He's lost a step. We see that. Everybody sees that. But I think those two guys are in the same boat as far as McCagnon and Bowles go, where they're guys that they can trust. And I think as the season goes along, their reps are going to get cut down. I do still believe that within the next couple of weeks, it's going to be Petty, going to be starting.
Let's hope so.
And I'll see Bilal Powell and McGuire reps start to increase, and their carries start to increase, and Forte start to fade a little bit because they know after this year he's not going to be here. So, and once the season is a wash, there's no reason for him to actually be playing. So, you need to get those young guys in there to be playing and see what they can do moving forward. So, it's early. That's the only thing that you can say about it. And I kind of know how this works a little bit with management and elder vets that they actually have high prices on these contracts. So, it's just something you got to deal with for a couple of weeks. Fans hate it. To be honest with you, I hate it, but it's just something that's just going to go on for a few more weeks, I believe.
Well, you know what? If they can get this offensive line, if it stays and it gels, and maybe we've seen a little glimpse, we're going to find out because you're going to play the Miami Dolphins this week. You're going to see that defensive line. You're going to see if this offensive line is going to are they going to decapitate McCown like they did to Petty last year? Shell looked like he looked very good, like Rob was saying with Khalil Mack. I mean, he held him in check. That's huge, But we got, if this does happen, think about all the young guys. These guys are all young guys, man. Every one of them young. And, it's something that you we all want to kind of hang our hat on something. We want to grab onto something. And, man, yesterday was something that's what you were grabbing onto. You were like, wow, are they going to come together? And this is what you want, But I'm going to tell you again. I'm going to tell you one more effing time. How many times yesterday? 3rd and 1. How many times? I know you were thinking of me. I know you were when you were watching that game. 3rd and 1. You're throwing the ball to Will Tye. Okay? You're throwing the ball to Will Tye. Can we get a running back? Can we get a running back that can get 1 yard? Because how many times, Rob, you're a former player, how many times, 3-4 times in probably a game, you need that 3rd and 1 to continue to drive. You're saving your defense from coming back on the field, number one. Okay? It's so important. That is so important. And I don't see them addressing it. I don't see it. I don't see Powell, and I don't see those guys getting the 3rd and 1. Now, I don't know. Maybe McGuire, he looks like he's a little more stocky. Maybe he can be that guy. But if not, we got to get somebody in this effing roster that can get a 3rd and 1. We need to continue it. It's going to make a difference for us.
Blocking fullback.
I totally saw it on the first 3rd and 1 of the game. The first person that popped into my head was Ed. And I said, here we go. And unfortunately, just before the play, there was a penalty. So we'll move back to 3rd and 6. But the first thing that popped in my head, seriously, was Ed. Here we go. First 3rd and 1. Let me see if we get this, because Ed is going to flip his lid if we don't get this. And it's a pass. It was a running play. You saw it. It was coming. It was going to be a running play. But fortunately, we got a penalty and moved back 36. So they had no choice but to throw the ball. But you're right, Ed. I mean, sooner or later, you got to find somebody that's actually going to be able to carry the ball in between the guards and pound it in and get that 1 yard. And McGuire actually seems like he might be that guy, because he looks pretty nifty in between the tackles. So, he's a downhill runner and pretty shifty when he gets to that second level. So, we'll see going forward, and hopefully they start giving this kid a lot more chances.
I hope they're listening.
I mean, for me, I think it's so much of getting the power running back as it is having that lead blocking fullback right in front that can just take somebody out. I trust Powell after the catch. He could do that. 3rd and 1, I'll give him the ball any day. But until the offensive line shows some consistency and we have a blocking fullback and a tight end, I don't know how much you can even run the ball on 3rd and 1, because they're not going to go anywhere.
One thing that's going to happen, I think, is what you're going to see is double tights now. And one of those guys, whether it's Austin or Will Tye, one of those guys in a short yardage situation is going to be that blocking back. So whether he's pulling around into the hole or just straight used as an H-back, one of those guys is going to be it. So one of those guys is going to be leading through the hole, I believe, moving forward, because Austin coming back gives him a little more freedom at the tight end position. So we'll see. Hopefully, it's one of those guys that is able to get it done. Both of those guys are pretty decent blockers, so we'll see.
they had yesterday, they had 3 or 4 different times they had formations where they had a 6th offensive lineman in the game. They had Corvalli in there. They had Corvalli. I think he's their 6th guy, comes in off the bench, and they were going strong right quite a few times. So
they're trying to address it.
You know, I like that. I like Morton's. I like what I see from Morton so far. It's 2 games, but I like what I see from him. You know, I like it.
They're trying to address it, but like I said, instead of using that extra offensive lineman moving forward, with Jenkins coming back now, you know, they're able to use a tight end, and that gives them another guy. If the running game is working, if they're bringing that extra tight end, you know, they have options now. You can throw the ball down the field with double tights. So, you know, we'll see, but hopefully, and it looks like you said, Ed, I'm cool with Morton right now, man. So it was only a 2nd game. He opened up the offense a little more. Don't get me wrong; they still need to throw the ball down the field, and yes, just take a shot. I mean, just throw the ball down the field to Robbie, just lose him up a little bit. You know, we'll see what goes. See what happens moving forward.
All right, so with that, we will transition over to the defense before we take some questions. And Ed, you mentioned you wanted to be able to put your hat on something this year, and I really thought we were going to be able to hold that on the defense this year. I fully expected this to be a top 10 unit this year, in spite of how bad the offense was going to look. And I know we're only still 2 games in. I don't want to go crazy yet, but man, the friggin' linebackers. First off, like you said, we're getting nothing out of that group, and that was McCagnon's first reclamation project. Drafted 3 linebackers in the first 2 years. We're getting nothing out of them. We're getting something out of Mo. He showed you a little bit of something. I mean, better than what he gave you in Buffalo. But like you said, Leonard Williams can't do it all by himself. And the one guy that's kind of flown under the radar, Casey Rogers. I know Todd Bowles took on more responsibility with the defense this year, but what the hell is Casey Rogers doing? Has this defense made any improvements over the last 2 years since he's been here? What are his responsibilities? What the hell is he doing?
I just want to know one thing. When you see in 2 games your 2 middle linebackers getting blown off the ball or out of position, one or the other, all right, or making a move the wrong way, filling a gap on the wrong side. I mean, how many times have we looked at this? You look back on your film and you go, wait a minute. You don't got to be a brain scientist. You don't got to be a defensive coordinator to see that there's something wrong there. All right. What I don't get is you have guys on the sideline. If they're not producing, get them out of there and put somebody in there that's going to make a tackle and shed a block. I mean, I understand they're saying, all right, well, it's a passing league and they got to try to cover these guys. Well, they ain't even covering them. They're not. It's not like they're covering the running backs and the tight ends coming out. They're not doing much of anything. I tell you, I can't take another day, another game of these 2 guys, Demario Davis and Lee, playing the way they're playing. All right? I just cannot do it. It's so frustrating, along with Mo Wilkerson putting a ski mask on. I mean, what are you doing? What happened to that guy before you got the contract? That guy was a beast. That guy was causing havoc, and you didn't have a Leonard Williams. You didn't have a Leonard Williams. Okay? Now you got Leonard Williams. There's
One
no
guy
excuse.
that's missing for me. I mean, I know we're harping on the linebackers, and yeah, they're not playing well. For whatever reason, Marcus Williams is missing, and he's actually been my guy for 2 years now, because he plays the ball. He plays the ball very well. He might take chances here and there, but I'd rather see a guy actually taking chances playing the ball rather than just straight up getting beat. Because Crabtree had a field day on Burris yesterday, and it was real ugly. But
Screen wasn't any better, yeah.
True. And yeah, I saw Screen make a couple of business decisions out there yesterday, and a lot of defensive backs around the league will do that. But that one in particular with Richard, after he caught that ball and just took off, I'm like, all right, yeah, that was a real business decision. He didn't try to take his legs out or anything. He just kind of reached up top and let him go. But I see that a lot. But for some reason, for me, Marcus Williams needs to be out there playing. Because just for me, I've seen enough to where he can actually cover guys one-on-one and play the ball better than what we actually seen out there. The safeties are making plays. These 2 young guys out there running around, going from sideline to sideline, doing what they can. And
they got no help.
Adams is hustling. May is hustling. Can't do anything more than what they're doing right now. When the ball is actually coming up to the second level almost every other play. So, these guys are in on a lot of plays, man. And it's going to be tough on them for the rest of the year. But, these guys need some help up front. And like you said, Ed, get some linebackers in there that actually just going to, go in there and start hitting people. That's basically what it's going to boil down to. Instead of getting driven off the ball, put some pads on somebody and good things start to happen when you're actually flying around and just start hitting people.
I think Connealy is playing well, and I think Josh Martin's playing well, and I think the two safeties are playing well. I think Jenkins is okay. The linebacker on the other side, he's doing okay. The rest, listen. We know Leonard Williams is getting doubled a lot. All right, the rest of them, come on, come on. You got to look in the mirror here. You got to look. This is the head coach. Head coach is the defense. He's a defensive specialist. I mean, they're already saying in Arizona that they haven't been the same since he left. But let's face it, Bowles was phenomenal, and that's why he got the job with us. All right, I don't understand. He's got to be. I'll tell you. You listen to him on Michael K today on ESPN Radio. I mean, he sounded like a defeated coach. I mean, I'm sure. Listen, he came from the West Coast. The flight, they didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm sure he was pounding away. I know the man is trying. Listen, I like the guy. I just like the guy. I know he's trying. I just don't understand. I just wonder, are these guys really giving him an effort? I know that Mo Wilkerson's not. I know that. I know he's not.
I know when they see the film, film don't lie, man. So, sooner or later, he's gonna realize that change is gonna need to be made, and the guys that are on the team now, they're gonna have to actually see who they want to keep going forward and who they won't. So you're probably gonna see a lot of changes within the next couple of weeks with guys moving forward. The younger guys actually out there playing. So hopefully it happens pretty soon, because they don't get this victory against Miami. Jaguars coming in here, they don't beat the Jaguars. Yeah, it's going to be a real rough time to try to get one victory out of the rest of the season.
All right, so with that, we're going to once again open up the phone lines. We have our good friend Kevin, Spotty Blackman, here to join us once again. Let's see if we can get him on this time. Yo, Kev.
It's like we lost him again.
It's a fail. All right, well, you know what? He submitted his question anyway, so I guess I'll just ask it for him. His question was, are we to expect Bowles will figure out that playing the young guys is the goal? Is that something that Bowles is eventually going to figure out at some point this season, or is he going to ride the veterans, right to the end like he did last year?
Nah, exactly just like what I just said. A couple of weeks into the season, they were looking to see if the vets can actually ride it out, but these two losses and probably one or two more, and you'll see a lot more young guys actually playing. That's just the way it goes, man. Coaches actually hang their hats on vets early in the season, and once the season is a fail, playoffs are a wash. They got to get the young guys in there to start playing, man, to see who they actually have on the team and who they can keep moving forward. So you'll probably see a lot more young guys playing in the next few weeks.
The only veterans he's got playing is the running back and the quarterback. I mean, he's putting McGuire in there yesterday. He infiltrated McGuire in there now. Okay. Who's you talking about? Petty? If you're talking about Petty, obviously he's got to get Petty in there. All right. But I mean, you talk about the wide receivers. He's not going to play those wide receivers, Hanson and Stewart, right now when you have Curse lighten it up. You got Robbie Anderson out there. You're going to have Curley. You'll get a Darius Stewart in there at times. Right now, they're trying to get some cohesiveness right now. You got to get a little cohesiveness. And then you start infiltrating guys. Like Rob's saying, you can't all of a sudden we're going to just throw everybody in there. I mean, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. They got to get some stability first. Get a little stability. And then you can start moving the pieces. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's only common sense. Doesn't take much. Everybody wants, oh, we'll put all the young guys in. We already have a ton of young guys in there. How many more young guys do you want in there? How many more young guys do you want in there? Look at the roster.
One thing is for sure, our Darius Stewart snaps need to increase a lot because I think he's a playmaker. And they need to find ways to get him the ball a lot more moving forward. 2 snaps, 8 snaps, whatever it is that he had yesterday, that's not acceptable. Even with Curly here, man. And don't get me wrong.
44. Insane.
Yeah, Curly taking those snaps that it pretty much should have been even in my book because Darius Stewart is a guy that actually can light it up and he can take it the distance once he gets the ball in his hands. But there's going to be a lot more young guys playing on the defense side of the ball. And I don't hesitate to say that it needs to happen. So we need to find out which guys actually can play, especially from that linebacker position.
Yes.
Our next question comes from Sean Johnson. He thinks that the Jets need to use more 2-back sets. He thinks that Matt Forte is still a good passing threat when he is used correctly with Robbie and Jenkins along with Curse and Curly. So what do you guys think about that? Should Forte still be in there because he can catch the ball a little bit, or is it just time to turn the page and see Powell and McGuire?
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a great serviceable back in the passing game because he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He does make plays down the field in the passing game, but that's limited right there. I don't mind him being in the game in certain passing situations, but Bilal can do the same thing. So like I said, he's just a vet that the coaches actually are comfortable with right now. But moving forward, I'm pretty sure Powell and McGuire are going to start edging into a lot of his snaps, even in the passing game, because McGuire actually even showed that he can catch the ball down the field. So, we'll see what happens. But do I think he needs to be in there during passing sets? No, not really.
A 2-back set is, it doesn't happen often. And if they're going to do a 2-back set, do it on 3rd and 1. What about 3rd and 1? You have to have a lead back. Have a lead back. I formation. Old school football. I don't have a problem with that. But, there's so many different options to have 2 running backs in the backfield. It's really not – that's not the NFL anymore. You'll see that on occasion. Maybe you'll see an occasional formation like that, but you're not seeing that on a consistent basis. Those days are long gone. They're going with 4. They're going with 4 receiver sets here. Most of the time it's 4 receivers out there. You got the tight end. How many guys can you use? A lot of times you got an empty backfield. You got nobody back there.
Exactly.
So it's just a changing of that's long gone. But if you're gonna put 2 backs, put them when you have short yardage. At least give them an idea. Maybe you are going to run, and then you want to split it. You want to play action off of that. All right, that's old school.
All right, continuing with the questions, we got just a couple more, and then we'll wrap things up. We've got Eric Roberts, who wants to know what you guys think about the play of Brandon Shell so far.
I mentioned it early in the program. He held his own against Khalil Mack, man. You got to take your hat off to that. That just goes back to what he did at the end of last season. He played very well at the end of last season, and just hoping that he actually could, continue with this season. First game didn't start out that well. Preseason didn't start that well either. But one-on-one against one of the perennial, top pass rushers in the game yesterday, he held his own. So you can't be mad at that at all, man. And hopefully he takes that and learns from it and keeps it moving and keeps improving. So I'm not mad at him at all. I'm actually happy he played that way.
You start seeing Brandon Shell playing well, man, and you got these guys. Wesley Johnson, the center. You start seeing these guys. This is McCagnon's guys. They're killing McCagnon for the Hackenberg. You got to start looking around. Let's see. It's too early yet. It's second game. Let's see. The jury's still out on McCagnon. This is going to be his year. We're going to find out if all these young guys that he came in with, we're going to find out. Well, Shell's one of them. He's a 5th-round pick. He's a 5th-round pick. If that guy winds up being what we're hoping he does, that's a steal. You got your tackle here. You got your left tackle here for the next 10 years. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's a steal in itself.
And
we'll see.
That was a very savvy move by McCagnon because he traded a future fourth rounder in this past year's draft where the offensive line was not very good, and he got his man Shell in the fifth round the year before. So he got a free, year to develop him, and now he's got him ready to play. So I think that was a very performance from him.
I was very excited about Dakota Dozier yesterday. I was really watching him. I was in between timeouts and stuff. I was rolling back and looking at some of his blocks, man. I'm telling you, he looked pretty good yesterday. He looked pretty good, and that's exciting to see because he's a backup guard, and we need that. So, a little depth.
All right, just two more here. We got Alex Ferrell. Should the Jets part ways with Khalif Raymond? This was something that was said a lot last year about Jalen Marshall. When he was out there fumbling punts early on, do you give the kid the benefit of the doubt, or do you pull the plug after 2 games?
Tough question. Muffing a punt like he did yesterday, not a very good thing. But I think they'll probably give him one more game to keep it up. If he makes one more mistake, he'll probably be out, and you'll see Curly back there again. I think that's one of the reasons why they actually re-signed Curly because he's very handy as far as holding on to the ball, especially in the punt return game. So he might not be the guy to break away as far as punts go, but he's sure-handed, so you're actually going to get the ball when it's your turn to get the ball. So I feel bad for Raymond, but that's just life in the NFL, man. His leash is going to be really short. I can say that.
I would like to see them yank him for the time being, but I like. Listen, he muffed a couple in Buffalo and got lucky to get him back. All right, but I like his style. I like what he does. I like when he does hold on to the ball. I like he's got moves. He's fast. He's deceiving. He's deceiving, that guy. He's elusive. I'd like to see them yank him now and bring him back and see, sometimes just sitting the guy down, sit him down, sit over there, watch before you just cut him. You know what I mean? Because he's showing some signs, at least I feel that way. So I wouldn't get rid of him. I would get him out of the game for a little while and let Curly play and then put him back in there, see what happens,
Telltale sign is going to be after week 4 when Jalen Marshall comes back.
Yeah.
That's going to be a telltale sign. So they put Jalen on the roster, then Raymond's time is up.
He's week 5, right?
Yes.
Yep. All right, going right along, we got RX Plays. Get rid of Buster Screen. He is so bad. All right. Obviously, Rob, you kind of touched on that, with Marcus Williams. We definitely want to see him out there a little bit more. We haven't seen a whole lot of Darryl Roberts either. I think those are 2 guys that Jet fans would love to see a little bit more of instead of Buster Screen. The money's guaranteed. So at this point, do you think they would even consider getting rid of him, or is he on the roster until the end?
No, he's on the roster until the end of the year. May change him up a little bit and take him from the outside and put him back in the slot. But if you're going to do that, then Marcus Williams or Darryl Roberts needs to start playing. But tough deal going on right now. Burris is on one side, Screen is on the other. And, for the first 2 years Marcus Williams was here, man, this guy made a lot of plays. So, and again, I like the way that he actually goes after the ball. They showed that, he's a good film study. So, he studies route combinations. He might guess a little bit, might take a shot, but that's Bowles' defense. He plays a lot of man-to-man. So you need those guys out there that can do that. Not just chasing, and he's an aggressive guy towards the ball. So, Screen is going to move again. He's going to move from outside back into the slot, and I believe that's, when he first came here, that was the position that he's supposed to be playing. He's supposed to be in the slot, and it's a little different when you go from the slot to outside. He's not going anywhere though. He'll be here. Just may slide from outside to in.
They get too much money invested in him. So this is one of these things where when they pay these guys that kind of money, he's going to be out on the field, and unfortunately that's not the way we'd like to see it, but it's just that's a fact because in their minds, they're paying this guy. He's got to be out there, to me, you ain't making plays. get him off the field. But that's just not the way of the NFL. I've come to learn that. So,
that's the business of the game.
Yep.
All right, 2 final comments. We have Richard Tinsley. I like the improvement shown by the O-line yesterday. Both those touchdown passes were a thing of beauty, and we have a wide receiver that knows how to find the end zone. All right, so I guess thoughts on the offense and what they showed in Oakland.
Love the curse.
We touched on that a little bit. The O-line actually played pretty well against that Oakland pass rush, and we see that Curse is McCown's favorite target. So can't knock that at all, man. He's making plays for him, so he's going to continue to throw him the ball.
Tell you, when you get this kid Severish Jenkins back, I want to see, because that's gonna open up the field, man. I mean, I think Robbie Anderson could really make a difference from him at this point, because that kid's a big target, man. And he's gonna have to be accounted for, and I think that that'll occupy the safeties, and Robbie can go over the top, It's
All right, and
it's one or the other.
Very last question. ABC 123. Do you think we can win our next 3 games and go 3-2? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes.
Gonna be tough. Can it be done? Yeah, these guys actually play mostly mistake-free football. Yeah. This week it's gonna be a real tough deal for that defense, especially in the running game, because Ajay is a beast to stop. So, first 2 weeks didn't bode well with McCoy and Lynch and Jalen Richard, gashing these guys. Miami Dolphins looking at that film like J.J. is going to do the same thing. So it's going to be tough this week. And then the following week, you got the rookie Leonard Fournette. So, defense got their work cut out for them next 2 weeks, man. I'm not even looking forward to the third week. Like you said, can we win 3 in a row? You got to get one of these 2 right here first. So to come into play. And Miami's up first, man. J.J. is going to be trying to run the ball down their throat. Miami looks at this film, and they're going to try and do it. So
I think
Go ahead.
if they beat Miami this week, I could see them winning the other 2. But they lose to Miami, all bets are off. They beat Miami, it does a lot for a locker room. You win that game, it's a division game, it's your rival. You win the game, you get a little confidence going. You got 2 opponents that you're capable of beating. So, confidence is a big factor. Winning the game, going in that locker room, winning the game, things change, man. The NFL changes in a hurry, but you need to get on the board. You need to get that 1 win. You got to get that first one. And things change after that. Guys look at, all of a sudden you got a little bounce in the step. Or, that donut tastes a little better. The beer tastes even better. Maybe the cigar tastes real good. But when you don't win, everything sucks. Everything sucks. So when you go to work on Monday, what do you think these guys do? They're the same way. All right? They're like, me, man, are you kidding me? This shit. So I'm hoping we can beat the Dolphins. That's what I'm hoping. Because Lord knows there's going to be enough of them rat bastards in the stadium. So,
All right, good stuff. Obviously, the first one is the most important. Got to get that win against Miami. And we're going to be here Thursday night to talk about it at 8 o'clock. Make sure you guys are tuned in. We're now going to be doing our preview shows on Thursday night, getting you set for the weekend games. So, again, Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Make sure you guys are tuned in, previewing everything Jets Miami. All right, we'll talk to you guys on Thursday.
See you later.